Comic Boom.
Hey guys, Comic Boom here to review Wonder Woman Dead Earth over the Christmas season 2019. I had to pick this up, I had to give it a shot, primarily because I love Wonder Woman and I'm a little bit bored. I'm not a little bit bored, I'm very bored with Wonder Woman in the mainstream DC universe. Really don't think it's going anywhere. Steve Orlando's jumped on Wonder Woman. He's writing the mainstream Wonder Woman comic book. Seems like same old, boring Wonder Woman stuff. It's not really going anywhere new. It's very boring stuff, very derivative. And once again, this over-focus on Cheetah. Now, Cheetah ends up in Dead Earth, but is an infinitely more interesting character. This entire comic book is more interesting than the mainstream Wonder Woman, which is why I got it. Now, on the surface, if you flip on the back here, on the surface of this comic, Wonder Woman says, "What happened to Earth?" That's Wonder Woman. Now, the art is a little bit, takes some getting used to, but it grows on you as you start reading it. Whatever happened to Earth? I feel like saying, whatever happened to DC Comics? You know, that I gotta buy Wonder Woman on a dead Earth to find a interesting Wonder Woman comic. Come on. But hey, thank God for Black Label, because generally I gotta say I'm happy with Black Label overall. I want them to focus on other characters, not just Joker and Harley, and I think they're doing that. And it's nice to see some Wonder Woman. And this isn't the only Wonder Woman Black Label we're going to be getting. That's good news. In any event, the creator here is Daniel Warren Johnson. Does the story and the art. Colors are by Mike Spicer, lettering by Russ Wooten, and they do a really good job here. Wonder Woman, of course, created by William Moulton Marston. Now, a couple of things about this world. This is obviously an alternative. This is an alternate universe. This doesn't take place in the mainstream DC universe. In this particular universe, the story starts off, a little bit of a background here. This takes place, we get a little bit of Wonder Woman's origin. And in this particular origin, Paradise Island is located in the Earth's core. So it's not located on an island. Actually, I guess Themyscira is actually located in the core of the Earth. And that's why when the Earth is destroyed in a nuclear war, Wonder Woman, or at least the Amazons, presumably survive, or at least we believe the Themyscira is still around. Now, what throws me off a little bit about this story is Wonder Woman herself. Again, looks like a teenager, doesn't look like an adult. A lot of the characters, I'm not sure if they're supposed to be teenagers or if they're supposed to be adults. And I think that's the fault of the art. Drawing Wonder Woman where she basically, sometimes she looks like she's a pre-teenager. Sometimes she looks like she's a child. I mean, in this panel, she looks like she's a child. And then in another panel, when she's awakened, she looks like a teenager, and then she'll look older. She'll look like a woman, and she'll look like a warrior one minute, and then she'll look like an angry teenager the next. This one here, beautiful art. I mean, the art here is really epic. This is the art. This is a beautiful scene looking out of a destroyed Wayne Manor. It's looking over what used to be Gotham City. And Wonder Woman wondering, Bruce, my God, what happened to Earth? Batman is, of course, dead. Wonder Woman's discovered in the remnants of the Batcave by this group of teenagers that are part of the last human survivors on the planet. And they take Wonder Woman, they take Diana with her back to their camp, where their camp is ruled by a cruel person who rules with an iron hand, because it's a dystopian Earth, and of course there's always got to be an evil ruler, and this evil ruler, these groups of teenagers, while they're glad that they discover Diana, and Diana helps rescue them from being attacked by a hydra, which are these titanic monsters that roam the Earth, and ultimately, one of the teenagers ends up getting killed. His name is Jonesy. And the remaining teenagers, and their names are D, a teenager by the name of D. And again, yeah, it's a woman. Again, I actually have to look sometimes to see if it's a male or a female, some of these characters. I don't know. I notice sometimes, I don't know, is it because it's a Wonder Woman comic that there's always this gender confusion? We have Atlantean 80s over in the mainstream DC universe. You know, there's always, I don't know. Can you just draw, make up your mind, make it a man or a woman? You have to try to confuse the reader. You know, pick a gender. Seriously. I mean, don't make a statement in a comic book. Just entertain. All right? That's just a little bit of a nitpick with the art. But every now and then, one of the characters actually shows breasts, so I think that's supposed to be a woman. The art kind of grows on you after a while. The characters ultimately end up being, they're very downtrodden, and they live in sort of this castle. And Wonder Woman inspires. Wonder Woman is thrown into a pit, sort of like a gladiator. She's the lone woman who's discovered. She's thrown into the pits because she becomes defiant. She refuses to sleep with sleep with the ruler of this last fledgling group of humans. And so she's thrown into the pits. She ends up battling in the pits against the Cheetah. And the Cheetah is Barbara Minerva. And Barbara Minerva is one of the survivors. And she remembers Diana. But her mind is all screwed up. And she was tortured and humiliated by the darker ruler of these fledgling group of humans. And while this battle between Diana and the Cheetah is taking place in the pits, they're attacked by the hyenas. They're the hyenas. I call them hyenas. They kind of look like hyenas. They're attacked by these titanic monsters, these hydras that they call them. And Wonder Woman helps defeat the hydras, and Wonder Woman therefore inspires all the humans to survive. And she ultimately ends up befriending Cheetah, restoring Cheetah's memory. Or Cheetah remembers Diana, and Wonder Woman brings her compassion and love to the humans, this surviving group of humans, to essentially tell them, look, we can survive this, and you got to forgive. And she tells the Cheetah, look, you don't hate your human captors here. I know they treated you badly, but we have to treat them with grace. We have to be better than they are. And one of the interesting aspects here about Wonder Woman in this dystopian future is that, and I really like this angle, she does have sort of a negative view of humanity. And she in a sense, while she has a negative view of humanity, she looks at humanity with compassion and judgment, but judgment with kindness, judgment with compassion, and she wants to help them. She explains to Dee, one of the characters that she first meets, she says she says I love you to him, and it wasn't I think it's a her, whatever. Again, it's that gender thing. It is a woman. I think it's a woman. You think I would know that? Yeah, I think it's a woman called Dee. In any event, she basically says, I love you, but Wonder Woman didn't mean that in a sensual or sexual sense. She meant that Wonder Woman loves humanity, and she tells the story of how she met originally Steve Trevor. And ultimately, you get the sense that Wonder Woman is very old, because when it shows the scene of Wonder Woman meeting Steve Trevor, it shows Steve Trevor crashing into presumably Themyscira, which, if Themyscira is in the Earth's core, how did Steve Trevor get there if they weren't on an island? That's not really explained. But in any event, she grew to love humanity, and she saw the potential of humanity. But ultimately, of course, she failed, and she's really curious now, what the heck happened? How did the Earth end up getting destroyed? And how come she doesn't remember things? And in particular, she's lost her powers. Wonder Woman has lost her powers, or she's significantly depowered. So she's fighting these hydras, she's fighting these monsters, she's fighting the Cheetah, and she's not as strong as she used to be. And I'm guessing that one of the reasons that she is because the Earth is so destroyed. Wonder Woman in different incarnation gets her power from Mother Gaia, the Earth. So it wasn't just that Wonder Woman was a patron of the gods, of various gods like Zeus and Athena, etc., and that she arguably got some of her powers as gifts from the gods. She also gets a lot of her power from the Earth itself. So if the Earth is a dead Earth, if the Earth is injured, then it would make sense that, to a certain extent, Wonder Woman's own power set would be a reflection of that injury to the Earth. And so that would explain her not having her normal set of powers and strength. At least that would be sort of the inference that I'm getting from the story. And that adds to the hero's journey that Diana is on in this particular opening issue. And I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this, and I like the fact that Wonder Woman is cynical toward humanity. And yet she's still persevering. I like the fact that she kicks butt. She doesn't supplicate herself, but yet she still is willing to pull back and not kill her enemies. And she'll kill the monsters, the titanic monsters, but she even the despotic ruler of the human clan that remains, she professes compassion for that human as well, and even for Cheetah. And despite the fact that the Dee and Jonesy and the group of humans that discover her, they ultimately end up betraying her, but she forgives them because she understands, because of their circumstance, why they're doing what they're doing, because it's survival of the fittest, and you got to do what you got to do to survive. And in the case of the clan that originally found her, they turned her in and betrayed her because they wanted to trade her into their ruler so that they could get some extra rations, extra food. And so they did what they had to do to survive. And Wonder Woman, despite all that, inspires them, helps them do battle against the hordes of the hydras. And it's just a really good feel-good story. Now, artistically, you're either going to like it or you're not. I find that as I read this, I got more accustomed to the art. I'm always a little bit, like I said, I was kind of a jerk earlier when I was talking earlier. I always find it a little bit odd that there's always some artists, and Daniel Warren Johnson is one of them, and they have a particular style that where when they draw somebody, you're not really sure. I mean, let's be honest here, even that image, that could actually be a boy. That could be a boy or a girl, depending on, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not really a fan of that. I don't like artists that, you look at it, it's like, well, what is that, a male or a female? Do you know what I mean? Like it's all right. It kind of grows on you, the art. And actually, the story is captivating enough that I'm definitely going to continue reading this. And I do recommend this. But I can definitely see this being an acquired taste. This art, in fact, fits the tale very well. In particular, I think where it really works is with respect to the cheetah. The drawing, the cheetah looks amazing here. She looks totally chaotic and horrific. And the Batcave looks destroyed. And the outskirts of Gotham City looking outside of Wayne Manor as Diana looks upon the destruction of Gotham City. All that's beautifully illustrated. So, I mean, look, I'm taking some shots at Daniel Warren Johnson here. And but full disclosure here, this art works for me, despite the fact that I might, mix up some genders here and there. It actually is. The art fits the story, and the colors by Mike Spicer are just really amazing. The colors are just fantastic. They pop off the page, and it really works. It really works. And let me tell you something. This is an infinitely better Wonder Woman tale than her current comic book, which, frankly, I only collect it because I'm a completionist at this point, but it's really not being written very well. It seems to be going nowhere. I've read future solicits of Wonder Woman in the mainstream DC universe. It's going nowhere, so I can't recommend that. Steve Orlando's not... J. Willow Wilson did a really bad job. Steve Orlando, unfortunately, doesn't seem to be doing anything different. I don't know what their fixation on the cheetah is in Wonder Woman, but good God, please either kill off that character in the mainstream DC universe or do something different. But if you want to get your cheetah fix and have cheetah actually be interesting, pick up Wonder Woman Dead Earth. I tell you, because Daniel Warren Johnson has a nice, unique, and while I shouldn't say unique, this is a dystopian tale of a dystopian future, etc., etc. So on the one hand, that might sound a little bit cliche, but it's nice to have Wonder Woman in it, and it's good. It's good. It's just classic fisticuffs and Wonder Woman doing what she does best, kick butt and showing a little bit of forgiveness and compassion along the way, but with some edge and some bite to it. You know what I mean? This isn't a supplicating Wonder Woman who's on her knees all the time. So I like it. So check it out, guys. Read Wonder Woman Dead Earth. Follow me on Twitter at Metropolis40. And until next time, Comic Boom out.